Hello, we'll be starting in just a minute. AR, why don't you talk for a second so I can get levels?
Okay. How's it going, everybody? I'm sorry about the cold. I been suffering for the last few days.
Okay, I'll grab levels and then we'll start. Starting now. Okay, that should be good. Ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Welcome to the With the Will podcast. We're here to talk about Digimon while hopefully entertaining and informing a little bit. I'm Mark, I run With the Will.
And I'm AR Pulver, Digimon System Restore.
AR is with us while happily a little bit under the weather.
Mm-hmm.
And May is currently without internet.
I still think I'm slightly better off than that.
Yeah, I'd rather
Like,
take sick than no internet if I were to choose.
yeah, that's the place we are right now.
Yeah.
It's funny the no internet thing. I had a situation the last two times that I've had an extended time without the internet were right before Try Part 2 and right before Try Part 4. Both days had me sweating whether I'd have internet to watch Try as it came out.
Yeah, well, I had my computer issues last time and that has been dealt with. Like 9 different good things happen in a row, so I have a new computer. There should be no issues. Although I had to cannibalize a few cables from the old one when cables did not show up on time.
It made a donation as it died.
Yes, it may make yet a few more donations because there are a few parts of it that are still good that just don't work in the current machine. Still on the old headset though, which oddly sounds better for some reason. So perhaps it was the motherboard and the USB headers were starting to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so unfortunately, like I said, May will not be with us. For all I know, she'll pop up partway through. Can't really say for a fact though, but I'm not expecting it.
You never know how the internet gods work.
Yeah, it can be a little bit random. So let's head on straight to the news. First up, we have a few Atmon updates from France.
I like that we're still talking about Atmon. Any excuse to keep
Yeah,
talking about Atmon.
yeah, it's fun. So first we saw the advertising logo they were using, which might have been the most boring "we have nothing to say about it" logo of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Which was literally just they took the English Digimon font and then wrote Atmon below it in the most basic font you can think of. In,
Yeah, with that random
yeah,
raised P.
yeah, in the show, they've shortened the sales logo for the series, which was the Japanese logo redone in English, and it has me a little bit worried, to be quite honest.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know why?
No.
They actually animated it.
Oh.
And my feeling is if they actually animated it, that may be the title they intend to use in most countries. That would have an English logo, that is.
Okay.
And I really don't want the show to be named this. I don't want it to have that logo. I just really don't. I mean, what do you think of the logo?
It, it's fine, I guess. It really doesn't. I kind of like the idea of At Monsters, to be honest. For some,
Yeah,
it just
something.
that just seems to strike me a little bit more.
Yeah, the problem is it doesn't say anything. The logo that we have now, the title, Digimon Atmon, it's that'll do, and I'd like the show to have
Hmm.
something a little bit nicer.
At least they took the universe out.
Yeah, they kept the Japanese opening and ending.
Yeah, that's interesting.
but they
I
did
don't know
not.
if that's what France has normally done, or
Uh, no, often, but they didn't do any retiming, and they just timed the show for PAL.
yeah, yeah.
So it's 4% faster, but at least they dubbed it in French at the proper speed for PAL,
Well, yeah, yeah,
which is not always a given. But the you when you hear the theme song and it's sped up, something just sounds
yeah.
wrong. I mean, they didn't do any
You
pitch
can,
correction or anything.
yeah, you can tell it's a different speed.
Yeah. Uh, if they had done the pitch correction, we might not have noticed, but yeah. Um,
Yeah,
so it started in
I
France.
forgot that. I forgot that first ending existed.
So did I. I was listening to
Like
it.
it's
I was listening to it at first. I'm like, oh yeah, this was
that's
this was actually this was kind of a nice
this
ending, but I forgot it exists.
this was the song, wasn't it?
Yes. Um, I'm sure we will have more to talk about with Atmon soon. It feels like we keep getting little waves since it ended, and it feels like France is kind of the beginning of that. So we'll see what else comes up.
Yeah,
Um,
but it sounds like it's a perfectly solid
yeah,
dub. So
yeah. From everyone we know who speaks French and watch it, they all seem to actually reasonably happy with it. And my understanding is the French dubs have not been the best in the past for Digimon.
okay,
So we'll see. Uh, Next up, more Battle Spirit stuff. They're gonna do a 1.5 set in February, which is gonna have the
one
same,
point.
which is gonna have its same cards, but some of them will have new
Mhm.
art. And for some reason, I'm just really amused that they're doing Battle Spirits 1.5 yet again, because it just always amused me that they did the game that way. Now they're doing cards, and we get a brand new set in spring, and the first teaser is Vmon.
Digimon.
With Can we just say that that is the best art I could imagine?
Yeah,
Like that
it,
really, it just looks great. Now,
keep getting new art of new
now,
battle spirits art, and it's all
yeah.
strong.
Now, do you think it's going to be an O2 set, or do you think it's just going to be a random Digimon set?
I mean, there's obviously more Digimon they can get to, but I think they will at least try to get a few of the 02 Digimon in
Oh,
there.
I'm sure there will be. I just mean, do you think it's going to be a full 02 set like the first one was a full adventure set, basically?
I mean, if we're yeah, I think that there aren't as many they have to do there. So yeah, I think we'll get those four in their forms.
Yeah. Let's see. Next up, see, this is the type of thing I imagine May probably ordered and would have had much to say
Mhm.
about. They're doing a pass card case and a smartphone case that uses V Pets as its theme. I don't know what I think of the design of this. I mean, I get what they were doing, but it's kind of not clean enough for me, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
The smartphone. I don't like the adhesive thing on the smartphone case.
Yeah.
Both of these ship in December. I don't think we have much more to say about these, do you?
No.
Yeah. Bandai is teasing 20th anniversary Digimon pendulums, which
Yeah.
seems to historically be everyone's favorite V pets.
Okay.
Um, One of the few V pets I have is the special edition Pendulum Zero. I've heard a few people say these look more like the Progress, I believe is the way to say it. I'm sure we'll see more of these soon, but there's not really much. They did like the most bare bones teaser imaginable, so
Yeah.
we'll have more to say about that soon. Maybe I'll actually get one of these. I kept wafting on the 20th V Pets and decided not to, but we'll see. And then the NX Edge Dukemon figure we finally have released details for. This figure keeps looking better and better the more we see it, though. Uh,
Yeah. It's a
uh,
cute little Royal Knight.
well, the colors, though, I for some reason I really hope the paint applications on the final figure look like this because it really does look good.
Yeah.
Um, Coming out in March, we'll have more details soon. Because oddly, they announced the date and everything, but they didn't give us any actual pre-order details, which is kind of weird. I think they were announcing it at a festival or something, so they wanted to throw something out.
Hmm.
And moving on to yet another figure, they finally announced those Digimon Adventure sibling figures. They're going to be March 2018. Pre-orders are open now. Each one's 8,100 yen with a slight discount if you order both at the same time. I think we've talked about these generally enough. I still don't get that pose. I don't understand how the Yamato Chakaru pose works. Like, I get that it's supposed to look fun and dynamic. I just don't understand how it works.
Yeah.
I believe that is what we've basically said every time we've seen these figures. I like them though.
Yeah.
I mean, the colors are really good.
They're adorable, but yeah, it's just that.
And it's very nice that we get Nairo. No, I never say it right. Nairomon. How do you say it?
Yaroman, yeah,
Yeah.
Yaroman.
Because normally you would expect it to be probably Salamon slash
Right.
Platmon.
Right.
But yeah, those are
Well,
good.
we talked about that. At least, I mean, Yaroman and Koromon are the same level.
Yeah.
So,
But
Hikari's her levels are all Hikari's Digimon are always one level off. So I get
Yeah.
what you mean.
Yeah. And moving on from those, they finally are going to do a nice Diabolomon figure. Pre-orders are up. We're almost at the point where they can't cancel it. Pre-orders open.
It's good.
Pre-orders open November 1st. It's out in March. It's 8640 yen, which is not cheap. But I still say this figure looks far better than it has any right to.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've seen some complaints about the Karamon, but Karamon looks fine to me, to be honest. I mean, certainly better than I expected him to look, especially with the overall design of the figure.
Yeah, I mean it's got to be a Transformer, so you
Yeah.
have to have some concessions, but it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
It's like you even have the different coloration going on. They have distinct colors.
Yeah, they do a few tricks where it's like the back of the arm and you flip it around.
Yeah.
But like the fold-up hands work well. The head for Karamon looks far better than I expected when I was thinking, well, it's going to be a split shell. I mean, it looks good. It comes with the clock.
Clock.
The clock's
I love
good.
the clock.
I like that they went to the effort, to be honest.
Yeah.
And
Just that nice little flourish in there.
the only, I call it an issue, but it isn't really, is it appears with Karamon, to have him properly stand up, you have to use the stand that comes with it.
I can see that.
Yeah, but
I forgot how exactly Karamon stood.
he
in
kind of
the
didn't.
anime.
He just floated
Yeah,
around.
he sort of floated.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can see using a stand there.
But yeah, considering that they canceled two nice figures of Diabolomon, just the final form on its own looks far better than you'd expect it to.
You'll be able to pay for it in 4 days.
I just keep like looking at the figure, thinking, wow. I mean, they could still cancel him for all we know. They've done it before, but we'll see. I don't think they're gonna cancel it this time, though. I think it's finally time.
No. They cancel this one, it'll be really awkward going to number 4.
Yes, and yet some more movie stuff. Someone, Wave Motion Canon, translated the first part of the Digimon movie book interview with Hosada. And
yeah, this was a nice surprise.
Some very interesting stuff in it.
Yeah.
It's very much not a Japanese style interview.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's very candid, honest, and we already have lots of people taking things out of context from it, so hooray.
Well, that's just the thing to do in these interviews.
Yeah. So, and anything specifically of note that you like from it?
I'm trying to figure out how they would have had digital monsters in the 1930s. For starters, the whistle comments were really interesting. Like, just the significance of what he felt the significance of the whistle were. It does add a little interesting dimension to that, and it also I find that to be an interesting takeaway for Revenge of Diaboromon. You know how they used the
It
whistle.
wasn't
If that
the
was sort of a callback to this.
it wasn't the 30s. Wasn't it the 30s of the Showa era, which that'd be like 1960.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Still, that's still a little strange to have a digital world there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a bit.
Not quite as strange, but
Yeah, maybe there'd be monsters with vacuum tubes on their back or stuff,
right, right.
or like weird Star Trek type stuff. Yeah, I don't know what they would have done. I get the feeling that maybe they didn't. I think a lot of the stuff he says is stuff that they tossed up on a wall and then immediately took down.
Sure, sure.
But there's a lot of interesting stuff here, and I really recommend everyone read it because it really does. It shows, because this was back from 2001, I believe, that he very clearly did have it in his head that he wanted to expand to go back to the movie and expand it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't for
Hmm.
8 years until he was able to.
Yeah, and you also have stuff like this. The comment about the whistle, I think, has implications for
Yeah.
Revenge of Diaboromon. The comments about the road movie and talking about doing Okinawa, that can,
Yeah.
you can kind of see the genesis of Hurricane Touchdown and Battle of Adventures in there. This is just a really good
See,
read.
the problem is we don't even know what other people would have known at the time for it to be the genesis of. It could just be coincidence.
It could be.
Because a lot of the stuff that he says that people are really interested in is stuff that maybe wasn't quite as deep as it was as people
Well,
are, like when he says, "Oh,
even if it's
like when
they throw it at a
yeah,
sorry, go on. Uh,
yeah."
well, if they throw it at the wall and see what sticks, and
well,
and somebody hears that and goes, "Oh, maybe later."
I mean stuff like people are going, "Oh, they started the movie first, and then they had to make it work and fit in a TV show." That's not quite what
Oh
he
yeah.
says. He basically says they got approval to do a movie, and then 6 weeks
Mhm.
later a TV show was started. The earliest ideas
Yeah.
he gives, and then he gives different ideas they were talking about. All the earliest
Mhm.
ideas have to do with it being a prequel to the TV show, anyways.
Yeah.
I think what happened was they greenlit the film. They were doing other things, and then when they went to start the movie, they were like, okay, and there's going to be a show, and the movie will be a prequel to the show. Because a few people are
Mhm.
framing it as they started working on the movie and then they had to go back later and redo it because a show is being made, and I'm not sure that
Oh yeah.
matches
No.
the rest of the
No.
interview.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's not the
yeah.
impression I got.
No, it was basically they were told they were going to do a movie, and by the time any work was being done, the show was already in existence at that point.
Yeah.
Um, so they put up the part one, so we can assume there'll be a part two.
Yeah, I'm really looking. I would really look forward to a part two.
Yeah, I'm really, yeah,
For obvious and not so obvious reasons.
yeah, yeah. I get the feeling we're both gonna have to put our heads on our desks to rest when part two comes out. The arguing that's gonna cause one way or the other.
Well, I mean, look, even if it's, I mean, obviously we're talking about the potential of getting an accurate translation for the comments about the Taichi Hikari thing, but I'm really interested to hear what he has to say, even independent of that.
Oh no, no, absolutely.
And obviously,
Your audio's
but
breaking up a
I
bit.
mean, I assume it's not going to be as, yeah, sorry. I mean, I assume it's not going to be as sensational as that one translation that got released
Yeah.
suggested. But it's the sort of thing that I think, given what happened in the last Try movie, I think it's a relationship that we do need to look at, and it's kind of worth getting Hosoda's thoughts on it because he had first crack at portraying this relationship, and
Well,
I think that's pretty significant.
what I'm most curious about is to see if he goes into coming into work on an episode of a show that, by and large, he's not involved with.
Yeah, that too.
Because you have to do. Because they nearly set up the story for him so that he could effectively do a
Mhm.
mini sequel to the movie, basically. But he still has to
Yeah.
do it based in the context of the show.
Mm-hmm.
So it will be interesting if he comments on that. And because people have been passing it around, I feel I should mention, no, he was not serious. He was not giving context to hating Toei by joking about blowing them up. It was a joke. Everyone needs to calm. People thought I've seen people theorize that it's him commenting on working with Toei.
Oh,
And no, that was pretty obviously a joke where they were told they can't blow up any buildings, so they'll blow up the building they work for because no one can complain about that because it's the same company.
you can get a sense of his humor reading
Yeah,
this,
yeah,
and you can get how certain translations could take some of his words out of context.
yeah. Well, you can also tell his sense of humor just based on the amount of American stuff he references and what he references.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting interest, and I really do hope part two shows up soon, with a lot more
Hmm.
storyboards also because I love those. Um, Try Part Five's had its theater run extended yet again. This makes it at this point, I believe, the second longest one that's kept
Yay.
its run. I don't think we have much else to say about that, and there's no theater gift that I'm aware of.
Okay.
So that's about it for that. We
Good
have
for
the
try.
yeah, we have the cover for Try Part 3 in the UK, which is out on December
Yeah.
26th. And wow, no one no, I can honestly say I don't know who's out on the internet. No one guessed this.
Yeah. This is out of nowhere.
Yeah,
This is.
yeah, we all kind of figured that because there was some weirdness with Try Part 1 basically around the
Yep.
world. And once
Hmm.
Try Part 2 showed that they were going to use the home video cover, we figured, okay, the UK is going to use the home video covers.
Yeah.
Instead, they're using the cover art from Animedia from a year ago.
With no. That has no connection to this movie.
No, it is very. It came out. Well, it was in the. Wasn't that around when?
It was leading up. It was leading
Yeah,
up to part
but it's
three.
very, very odd.
Yeah, like this is the big Animedia that it was the build up to part three. Like this one had the big Q&A
Yeah.
that gave us
And
all
I
the hints and
believe
stuff.
if you flipped it around, wasn't there a second cover on the other side with Atmon?
Yes, I have this issue.
Okay.
I have this clear file, which means I definitely don't need to have this DVD cover.
Well, yeah. What's interesting though is I'm I'm very confused how they came to this conclusion. Like it's interesting because I I don't care what guesses anyone made. No one guessed this one because it was
No,
not even.
no,
I didn't even expect to ever see this show up outside of Japan. To be quite honest.
it's good art.
Oh yeah,
I mean, like I said, I have the clear file. I love the
no,
clear
it's
file.
good art, but it really does not like.
It doesn't do any. It doesn't explain what's going on with the movie.
Many of them
It doesn't
kind
even.
of don't, to be honest.
That's true, but it doesn't even spotlight the right characters. Like this is a
Well,
primarily a Takeru and Koshiro
well,
movie. Koshiro's kind of hiding in the back holding
I
Mimi's stuff.
I would hope he's going to be the flip cover that they do.
Yeah.
I can understand why you'd want a group shot for this movie, though.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's about all we have to say about that because no UKers are around. Although I have heard that part 2 may just use the shout disc, which is a
Oh.
different label on it. Um,
Yeah.
and we're back to the tri-stage play.
Yeah. That's tri-stage. You know, it's funny. With everything that happened the last couple of months, I forgot the stage play existed.
Yeah, it's been a big run of just stuff being thrown at us.
Yeah.
They announced store exclusives for the DVD. Toei's own store is doing a very nice like cast print, and other stores are doing paired images of Taichi, Agumon, and Yamato and Gabumon. That looks like they were taken 10 seconds apart. That will be out December 2nd. I don't know. Everything from the stage play still looks really good to me, to be honest. Like
Oh
far
yeah.
better than it should.
Oh yeah. It's still good, and we're still looking for the DVD and
Hopefully
looking
soon.
forward to that. But
Yeah. But yeah, that will be December 2nd. And we still don't know why it's 2 discs.
oh yeah.
We know for a fact they recorded at least 2 of the showings, so it could be 2 there, or it could be that they split it at the intermission, but we'll see. And then we have a bunch of Hackers Memory news.
Yeah, this is the big stuff.
So, first up, they announced a one-shot by Naoki Akamine, who's the manga creator for the Atmon manga. And we get a very, very tiny shot of Keisuke. And no real details, minus that it will be out in about 3 weeks in the January issue of V Jump. I think that's about all for that.
Yeah.
Um, then they announced exclusive products for the Digimon Story exhibition that's going to be at the Pixiv Zingaro, which
I
is
love I love that Nakano Broadway is just going out hard for this.
yeah,
It's so much fun.
it is fun, and the products are actually kind of more fun than we tend to see. They're a little more thought out. So first up, we have two shirts. One black, one white. The white one appears to have the leads from the various story games on the front in sprites.
Hmm.
And the black shirt is actually Takumi's shirt from the
Yeah.
game, minus that they've thrown up the logo on it,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is fine.
Hmm.
Then two different towels, which they don't give the dimensions of, but they appear to be long towels. One of them uses the
Yeah.
limited edition cover art from the 20th anniversary version of Hacker's Memory, and the other has sprites.
Hmm.
I don't care about either towel, to be quite honest. The tote bag's kind of nice, though. It just has a bunch of sprites.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like this is where we miss May because she would have ordered all this stuff while we were talking.
Or we'd find out what she ordered, and we'd have a better
True.
feel for
Yeah.
what the good stuff is.
Yeah, it's all basic stuff, and it's all actually reasonably priced, which is a little odd for this type of thing. I mean, there's nothing just like where's the battery? That's overpriced.
Hmm.
That's about it for that, and then we get into a bunch more Hackers Memory stuff. So first up, we have a release date for the U.S. and Europe and basically
Yeah.
everywhere. Basically everywhere that's not Japan. It's January 19th, which is far sooner than we expected.
Yeah, weren't we thinking February, March for this?
Yeah, I believe most people were guessing March because I think Amazon had a March standby date.
Okay. Yeah,
Um,
March sounded like the time. But
yeah, I mean, I don't think any of us were
man,
expecting a
I love
month after
Happy
Japan. I don't think we were
No.
expecting it that quickly. We
Yeah.
got it. We got a new
I'm
trailer.
sure
We got a
I'm
new.
sure we're going to
Yeah.
have a wonderful quality translation because of that.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, it's being made
They're,
when the game's
yeah,
being
they're
made.
probably already working on it.
the,
I know. I just
the script the script's far done at this point, at least for the Japanese
Jokes
version.
is sitting there for us though.
Yeah, well, but here's the thing: it's probably being handled by, not the. I believe it's Bandai Hong Kong who did the last one,
Okay.
or it was either it was part of their Asian division, which was translating it based on their stuff, and then they were swapping in the North American terms.
Okay.
So we'll see what the translation ends up like this time. The issue with Bandai translations is no matter which Bandai does it, it always feels like a quality control pass or two was missed.
Well, yeah.
Um,
I mean,
yeah, and we got a new trailer, which I mean I don't have interest in the game, but it makes the game look really good. I have to say.
yeah. Yeah, the trailer's fun. It shows off a lot of the new Digimon, which is kind of the
Yeah.
appeal. I love that we're getting some of the Frontier and Cross Wars ones in there.
Yeah, I kind of expected some of those because the models already exist.
Mm-hmm.
And the odd one, Magna Garumon's in the game twice, maybe.
Yeah.
Because we see him on the map, we see him in the game map screen, but without his armor, standing next to one with his armor.
Hmm.
So we don't quite know what's going on there. And we got the pre-order DLC details. We're getting Omnimon NX, Crusadermon NX, Leopardmon NX. We get the school attire costumes. We get the Beelzebubmon.
Now,
Go
the
ahead.
question with the school attire one is do we know if Ami's even in this game?
I believe the Ami and Takumi were selectable in the online blah 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 mode. That you could have them
Okay.
be your player avatar, I believe.
Gotcha. Okay.
It.
And then have them wear their
I
school
also
attire.
I also still expect Cyber Sleuth will be patched to add all this crap, and
Okay.
then maybe it'll import into there. We get the Beelzebubmon emblem T-shirt that they sold on Bandai Premium. We get one of the summer camp shirts, which the same was done. We get
Love
we
that one.
we get a Vegeta costume who I don't think would be relevant for 99% of people buying the game because I believe he's one of the V Jump mascot characters.
He was in Cyber Sleuth.
Yeah, but oddly,
He
I
was
don't I don't believe they've announced that DLC for Japan yet. I don't think I've seen it mentioned
huh.
prior to this. And then we have the one we need to talk about.
Yep.
Sistermon Ciel and Sistermon Blank.
Yep.
Sistermon Ciel instead of Sistermon Noir.
Yeah.
I've thought very deeply
I
about what my hot take's going to be, and I know you have also. So if you don't mind, may I go first?
Sure, go for it.
I like stuff to be unedited, but honestly, I don't really care. I mean, I wish I could care more. I simply don't. It's stupid on every level. From that Bandai made the decision that it's being done, that it's being done that hilariously, and that some people are absolutely flipping their shit over it, complete, complete chaos about it.
Hmm.
Your turn.
I am amused more than anything else that they noped out of this. I mean, I kind of, it just given the content in the first game, the idea that they look at this trigger-happy girl dressed as a nun,
Yeah.
and just decide, nope, we're not going to touch this one.
No, the stupid thing is she still looks like a nun.
Oh yeah, totally, but she's a different color now, so it's apparently okay. My hot take is this: so Sistermon Blanc is a vaccine type. Sistermon Noir is a virus type.
This should
They
be
need to make Sistermon Ciel a data type.
yes, especially since
That would fix it for me.
especially
That
since
makes
according
it
to
fine.
producer Habu, this is actually a new Digimon that they
Yeah.
tweaked and made, and they're apparently counting it as a new Digimon, not just an English version of Noir.
Yeah, so there's three of them now.
Yeah, and he's actually specifically said this is a third sister to the other two.
But yeah, I think that's really important. I think Ciel needs to be a data type.
Yeah,
I have never cared about type before, but
Yeah.
this is important
yeah,
for me.
but I understand why some people are upset. I just can't be bothered to be upset at something this hilariously stupid.
Yeah.
Like
it's
at
fun.
every level, this is stupid. It's stupid that they did it. More than anything else, it's I understand people going, okay, I'm not gonna buy the game. I understand if someone wants to go, no, 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 I'm done. I understand that. But
Well,
when
it's not even. This is DLC.
well, no, here's the
It's
stupid.
not even.
Well, no, here's the stupid part. People are saying, well, we're gonna message Bandai, and then they won't just get. I'm like, no, they just won't release the DLC here next time. They'll say it's exclusive to Japan. I'm kind of shocked they didn't do it this time. If they were that worried about it, to be honest.
Yeah, they could have just not included it. Like, it's not like anyone cares that much about Sistermon.
Yeah, apparently everyone does, but only because the the habit looks nice. That's about all. That's like the most interesting thing I have to say about this.
A fine design.
It's just stupid.
And yeah, I like
It-
that they go with the mouse instead of the cat.
Yeah.
But
It's stupid that it was done in the first place, but I do think the reactions need to calm down a few notches.
I mean, they could have just not done those. They just could have just not included either Sistermon and
see-
just scratched the whole thing. And instead, we're still getting them.
See, I would have just scratched them out and thrown in the other two NX characters.
Yeah, that's another way to go. Or give us different Digimon.
Yeah. I mean, it's sort of like when they did their update for Cyber Sleuth in Japan. They never got. It was Cherubimon Vice and Beelzebumon. What was his mode called? I can't remember it now.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can't come up with it right now.
Yeah. They didn't get that in there, so they're actually counting those as new for Hacker's Memory.
Okay.
Do we have anything more to say about these two?
About these two,
I
I
mean,
mean, I'm totally fine not having a strong opinion about Sistermon.
yeah,
And honestly, nobody had a strong opinion about Sistermon 5 days ago.
No, that is the only thing that really does kind of really make this silly. it's not like it's like some people flipping out over when they tweaked Omegamon's crotch in Cross Wars. That was just as stupid, but I understand why people were like, "Fucking really? This character's shown up 10 times over
Yeah.
15 years. Is this
Yeah,
really a
if it was
problem?"
Digimon that we actually cared about,
Yeah,
then I can we can be a little.
yeah. I just can't be bothered because is
If it
DLC.
was a Digimon that ever appeared in the anime,
See, I don't even know if I see. I'm just trying to figure out my own thoughts on it. Minus that, I mean, they changed it. That's fine. I just don't care. I wish I did. I wish I had the passion to care about it. I just don't.
I I don't wish I had the passion to care about
Well,
this.
no. I mean, like there are people who really, really do care about making sure it's quote unquote unedited, and that doesn't really exist to some degree. But like, imagine having that much passion that slightly changing the color and the hat of a character really made you care. Although here's what I
Like care to the point where you don't want to buy the game. I mean, if I
well,
mean caring to the point where you don't buy the
well,
DLC. Okay, sure, fine.
well it's free DLC.
What's free DLC?
It's
I thought it
pre-order
was a
DLC.
pre-order.
Yeah, meaning when you pre-order the game, you get it for free, and then they
Oh,
probably will not sell it afterwards.
yeah.
See, I guess it's also partially hard for me to care because this is not my type of game in the first place.
Well, it's my type of game, but the DLC doesn't like impress me all that much. Are we gonna get a item pack? That would
No,
impress. That would help.
no,
I'd like that.
it looks like this time they decided to give us the sister mons instead of the item pack.
You can have Ciel, Noir, and Blanc, but I want my chip restrictor chips.
I am kind of curious to see if they somehow do pull up a CL and Noir both appearing at some point.
I want someone to do fan art of all three of them now. Like
uh,
let's just welcome CL into the canon,
n-
just to annoy everybody
no, now
that's
okay.
really angry
Now
with
here's what I'm
this.
curious about. I'm curious to see what the design of her awakened mode will be
Mm.
because
Oh.
any edit, like most of the people when they originally did an edit of her, figured they edited her because of the awakened mode.
Yeah, yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see that. I
Hmm.
think it's about time to move on to questions.
Yeah,
Okay.
I put out the call.
Yeah.
Let's.
So we'll wait to see what questions people ask, and while we wait, what do you think? What kind of version do you think we'll get for Appmon in the U.S.? Like, how do you think it will be handled here?
Oh, that's a tough one. I still think we're going to get some sort of I don't know whether it's going to be a network dub or something like on Netflix or something, but I think it will be dubbed and I think it will be in kind of that format. I don't know if it's going to be like extensively edited. I don't think it has to be, but I am still thinking that that's in play right now. That some
I
sort of a TV dub is.
I think it's what Toei would want. I think the question is who would get it and would it be of interest to them?
I think somebody would take an interest. I don't know exactly who,
Well,
but
I mean in the sense of doing it specifically for TV when that may not be of interest to people. Of
I don't know
two
if it.
networks, I mean.
I mean, I don't know if it'd be necessarily for network. Like, it could be like an online streaming thing, but it would still be potentially a dub.
See, I'm almost expecting that if they don't get the deal they want, it'll be licensed to a Funimation, a Viz, and it'll be a normal dub, but sweetened for a little bit more comedy, and then if necessary, they'll cut it down for TV later if there was interest.
Hmm.
But at some point, you got to get the show out there.
Yes, at some point you do for sure.
Yeah, and
But I mean, it's hard to tell how long it'll be. I mean, with the France getting their dub now, it's it's looking promising. But we did wait a couple years to get Fusion over here.
yeah, but that was also because they were very hardcore on someone licensing everything.
Yeah.
and they seem to be taking a bit more of a forward stance on certain elements this time around, at least with Try, so I wouldn't be shocked if they do something similar again.
Hmm.
Like when we got Try Part 1 in theaters, Shout wasn't involved at that point at all.
Right.
So it wouldn't shock me if they were doing dubbing and then someone else just would take what they have.
Okay.
I have a question. Uh, do you think if the new Battle Spirit set will be based on 2, will the rarest card be Imperial Dramon Paladin mode? That wouldn't shock me. I'm just trying to think what other iconic Digimon would be I believe the rank they call it is double X
Mm-hmm.
is the highest rank for Battle Spirit. I guess if it's not Imperial Dramon Paladin mode, who would the new card be?
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean, if it's based on 02,
it's
that stands to
it's
reason.
Paladin mode or it's Fighter mode, and Paladin mode could be a promo card for something else.
Oh, yeah.
Sort of like they did with Maycrack, no, not Ragulmon and Ophanimon Fall Demo, where it was explicitly an adventure set, but
Yeah.
promo cards had stuff otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know if I'm expecting it to be all O2 or maybe like an O2 Tamers combo, in which case it could be Crimson mode. Blast mode. It's Beelzebubon Blast mode.
Yep. Yep. That's it.
Yeah, how did we both forget that one? Yeah.
There's so many different modes
Yeah,
out there.
yeah, it's one of those things where my brain kept going, is it Blast mode? I think it is. Doesn't seem right, but yeah. Um, Paladin mode seems like the obvious choice regardless. It's just one of those things where it's so obvious you kind of wonder if there's something else that, like, could it be a card with all 4 of the sovereigns?
Mm.
Or something along those lines. It could be. I'm kind of interested at this point to see the 1.5 art because I don't know what to expect. Is it going to be new art? Is it going to be art that they just didn't use? Is it going to be that art that was used on some option cards that had single characters on it and just swapping it around? I don't know. Let's see. We'll wait a minute to see if any more questions pop up, and then we'll call it a day.
Mm-hmm.
If no one else has any other questions. Um, so going back to Hacker's Memory for a bit.
Sure.
Do you think it? They've gone very hard saying, well, the main character's not a hero in the vein of prior characters. Do you think they've done a bit too much to stylize him like other characters while saying he's different?
How do you mean?
Well, like his pose is kind of like a generic hero standing there pose with
Oh,
his coat blowing
yeah.
in the wind. They say he's not a hero, so he doesn't have goggles, but they give him a VR headset, which generically is the same
Yeah.
thing. They
Mm-hmm.
give him 3, not necessarily the best known Digimon, but all well known and liked characters.
Yeah.
It just sort of feels like they don't want him to be the hero character, but they're also not willing to not have him be.
Well, I think if you're gonna be the player character in a video game, you probably have to be something of the hero.
Yeah, but I just mean like in the context of
I
like,
think what they may be getting at is that he's not necessarily the purest person out there.
but that's happened before. I mean, was Masaru the purest person?
He kind of was, but
but in a different way than
no, I know what you mean. I know
yeah.
what you mean.
Um, like design wise, I almost think Erika would work better as a hero character.
Yeah, I can see what you mean there.
Yeah, it's just like they designed him in such a way where he's not the hero character, except for almost every single design aesthetic is the like they gave him the very heroic style, standard
Mm.
Japanese haircut, but it's a bit mussed up. They gave him the eyes to say he's different, but that makes him stand out.
Or not, he sure looks like a protagonist.
Yeah, that's kind of the issue. They've gone to this great lengths to say he's not. They've cast someone who's not normally the hero character, but when you look at him, it does just kind of scream the hero of the story.
Yeah. It's sort of like what they did with Haru. Like they went out of their way to say he
Yes.
doesn't look like your typical mythical hero, and then they made him a hero.
Yes. And they said it way too much for my liking, to be honest.
Yeah, it was a little meta early on there.
Um, so another question: do you think we'll get a Huang Longmon card at some point? Sure. If it's an O2 set, probably not.
If well, you got to get the Sovereign first.
Yeah. And then someone wants to know: are we playing Digimon Lynx?
I haven't played in a few days actually.
I am, but I'm sort of falling out of it quickly because there's just not much to really do. Like,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
like as far as the farm town component is, I'm already done with it. Everything's built up to maximum,
Right.
and it was a week or two ago. In basically less than a month, I've maxed out the actual like thing you customize.
Mm-hmm.
I mean that's just very little to really do.
Yeah, and also I don't do a whole lot of mega chasing because any Digimon that I really
Yeah,
want
yeah.
are generally the lower levels. I like the cute
Well,
ones.
the other issue is there's just it's too much. There's too much stuff to do to make that happen. Like at
Yeah.
least in Digimon Heroes, for example, if you get a mega at random, which happens quite a bit,
Mhm.
it might not be a level 10, it might be much lower, but it will at least be characters you like, and then you can figure out what to do with them.
Yeah.
Here, you basically have to sit down with a pen and paper and map out what you want to do to
Mhm.
do anything relevant, and then it's just not very fun.
You have to commit so early to get the mega of your choice.
Especially if, as someone in the chat room just pointed out, you want to make them a plus four.
Mm-hmm.
What's the? I don't remember what the term they use is.
I think it's
Awakened?
awakened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where like that could take weeks or months to do, and I just don't want to spend that much time with a mobile game, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would rather play Mario Odyssey, despite it having oddly not great controls for a Mario game.
Hmm. It's a fun game. It just at some point, if you aren't in the business of getting a ton of megas, then it does kind of wear out on you pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's disappointing because it feels like there could be more to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like the battle system is very basic RPG, but it works for a quickie mobile game. But it just hits the wall of, do I really want to spend that much effort and time? And I understand why it's set up like that. It's so you'll spend money, but I'm just not
Right.
interested in doing that.
Yeah.
Let's see, another question. What Digimon would you most like to see featured in Hacker's Memory, which hasn't yet been used?
Oh, geez.
Honestly, the answer I'm going to give is kind of obvious because I think I've said before. I would like to see Gatchmon show up.
Yep. Yeah,
I mean,
I want to see some
like,
Atmon
like,
incorporation.
like if I were to name a single character for him and an evolution or two to show up, I would want it to be Gatchmon.
Yeah, that was sort of my answer. I don't know. Has I'll point this out. Has Mekumon been involved in Hacker's Memory? I wouldn't mind seeing her show up.
She was in Next Order and Link, so her model
Yeah.
does exist. So
The model does exist.
yeah, and the thing is her model exists in the modern form that they use for the game. So I would not be shocked if she did.
Yeah.
Now that could be a thing that they're waiting to do DLC for when Part 6 comes out, which will be a few months after the game in perfect time to throw out
Yeah,
a bonus free mission or something.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, we're both kind of boring in that our answer is Gatchmon.
We want to see Atmon.
Yeah.
We want to see Atmon incorporated.
Like
in the,
like I'm
in the
sitting
video
like
games.
like I'm sitting there going, what Digimon would I like to see who has not shown up yet? And my only other answers are the most boring answer you could imagine. Blitz, Greymon, Crestgurumon, Alter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember which one it is. Is it B or is it S? It's S is the good one, right?
Is regular Shoutmon planned to be in the game? Because we saw
regular-
Omega Shoutmon, but I don't know about the original.
Regular was in Next Order, so they have a model of him, and he evolved into Omega Shoutmon.
Okay.
So I expect he's there. We just haven't seen him. Because remember, we haven't seen Omega until the newest trailer, anyways.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I can kind of
Yeah, I
assume, but you don't. We don't know.
no. Do we know?
Also,
Do we know for a fact? No, but I would be really shocked if he wasn't.
yeah, I wonder how they're going to do the evolution paths on some of the Frontier and Cross Wars.
I would just have them evolve normally. I don't see that you need to do anything special.
Well,
I mean, that's kind of the trap that producer Habu has claimed they're in, is that they don't know what to do with them.
yeah.
Just,
I mean, because
just
diverging evolution paths is sort of that's a thing in well, all of the games really.
yeah. But there's ways to do it easily enough. I mean, there's diverging paths in the V pits. You just have, if you have to do it, you just have two of them be the same level, and you just move on.
Mm.
At some point, the decision just has to be made. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, if Shoutmon, what else would he evolve to?
Well, you would just have him evolve to Greymon or whoever, or
Right.
you could have him be
Like, you go that route.
I would say either you do, or he's a specialty Digimon that maybe you can only get from one location in the game, and he only evolves into Omega Shoutmon.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah. Our next question was, what are the chances that we get to see you guys play Hacker's Memory when it comes out and post it to YouTube?
I've never done it before.
It
Probably wouldn't get started
Okay.
because there are people who do it way better than I would.
Okay, here's what I'll say. If I get a proper capture device by then, and I know the one I'm looking at, budget has gone way down on stuff because I had to replace my computer. If I get the capture device I want by the time the game is out, I will at least stream it for a few hours. If I don't, then I don't really ever plan to. Let's go with that. So basically, if the game comes out and I have a proper capture device, I will do something. I don't expect that to happen though, so it's kind of cheating. Next up, I don't know. Are these new characters or did someone just make up characters? 1 second. I have no idea. I think these were ones from audio dramas who don't have designs. Someone had asked questions about what do we think of designs for Digimon who, as far as I know, don't have designs. So we'll move on from that. Okay, we'll give them a chance to ask a few more questions, and then we'll call it a day.
Okay.
So yeah, new computer, good. I'm very happy with it. I'm still figuring it out. There's a few weird oddities with it that are very strange to me. It's a tower, but for some reason it has a laptop drive as the disk drive.
Oh.
Getting used to that. It's kind of loud, but I don't watch discs on here as much as I used to, so I'm fine there.
Yeah.
I like the amount of USB ports on the front, which is 4.
Okay.
And it looks like we're not getting more questions, so let's go ahead and close it up then.
Yeah, I look forward to not talking for the rest of the day.
Thanks everyone for showing up. Like, subscribe to us on YouTube, follow With the Will on Twitter. You can follow me and AR on Twitter also, and of course May also, even though she's not here.
I'm sure May will go back to tweeting at some point
Yes.
once the internet is back up in Australia.
Yeah.
And I like to envision it as the entire continent of Australia is offline right now. Like, that's how I'm picturing this.
To be
I'm
fair,
sure it's not true, but...
To be fair, they are upside down.
Mm-hmm.
Subscribe to us on Patreon because we have more stuff coming up that requires money, including some stuff next week that most people will probably be able to guess what it is if they look around. I believe in 2 weeks, AR, you will not be around, correct?
In 2 weeks, no. I've got family stuff.
So I don't know if there will be no episode in 2 weeks, if it will be just me and May, me and a guest host, if we'll just skip it and do an episode the week after or 2 weeks after. We'll figure that out. Thank you everyone for showing up. Goodbye.